All right, so kiddos, if you take a look up at the screen, put your computers halfway closed for me. Look up at the screen. This is not a score chart or a leaders board or anything like that. I just wanted to show you that it does give me feedback. It tells me how many math problems you were able to do in the time period that you were working, and it really depends on what game you play. Like I looked at Matthew, he's playing a game that like is constant math problem after constant math problem. Some of the other games give you like a play again, and you get to just do the game part for a couple minutes, and then you go to a math problem after that, right? So it's not like he's winning, although thank you, Matthew, I'm glad you're getting so many done. Put your thing closed though, please. Thank you. So the idea though is how much are my kids practicing? Do you understand? Because I'm going to want you to be on SumDog as part of your 50 minutes going forward, because we are not going to have a lot of homework coming up pretty soon. And so SumDog is going to be one of your options for your 50 minutes. So do you see how to do it now?
Yes.
Okay, now here's the thing. At any point in time, I might make yours 5th grade or 6th grade or 7th grade, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you when I do that. So you're just going to have to keep plugging away at it. If it gets harder, it gets harder. Okay, but I want you to still follow the rule of have paper and pencil next to you. Don't guess at the 4 choices or whatever. Actually do the math problem. Do you guys hear me? Mm-hmm. Please don't do any guessing. That does nobody any good. It's not worth the math problems if you're going to guess. I want you to actually do the problems on paper, the hard ones.
Yeah.
Okay? Does everybody understand SumDog?
Yeah.
What?
Is there any way to change your look?
You can do it on your own time, but it won't give me any math problems accomplished, right?
Yeah.
So if you're counting that as your 50 minutes of homework and you have no math problems accomplished, my feedback to you will be you're not using your math time wisely. Does everybody understand that? Yeah, I need to see some math problems accomplished. Okay, you don't have to exit out, but you may not play it while I give you your next direction. Can you close your computers 100%? All right. Do you have your scissors out?
Yeah.
I told you to get a pair. Do you have your 2 pieces of squares that I've given you?
Yes.
All right, have those out. I'm going to give you 2 sets of directions. You have to remember both of these or do them with me, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to just go through it once, and you're going to need to rely on the people around you for if you don't know what's going on. Because I'm going to just do it once. You'll do it today, and then this lesson continues to tomorrow. We have a substitute for math because I have a meeting. So you have a substitute for math, but it's okay because you'll need this much time tomorrow to work on this and some SumDog. Okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. If you don't do it using this direction, the whole thing will not work. Here's what we're creating today. We are creating a slide tessellation and a rotation tessellation. Here's what the differences are. A slide tessellation allows you to move the piece like this. If our piece was this, it allows you to move the piece up and over. Just like we're used to with a tessellation, right? You're like, that's what we always do, Mr. S. That's called a slide tessellation. But a rotation tessellation does something different. What?
Why would it be called a tessellation if it doesn't go up?
It does. It still goes up, down, left, and right, but it has to be rotated. Watch. Let's say I have this as my piece. I know I'm in the way of a lot of people. Can you either get up and move and see it, or just wait till I move out of the way? That's my piece. All right. Now, if I were to just go straight up and down, it would look like that. So that part makes it a slide tessellation. But what I'm going to do to make it a rotation tessellation is I'm going to do this. Watch what happens now. Watch what happens now. This part is going to rotate into this part. Look at how that now is inside. This part here is over here because it's been rotated. This hole, like this part here is the hole, is now over here. It's rotated. All right, and you'll get to see that we'll actually create a piece, then we'll rotate it, then we'll rotate it, then we'll rotate it. We'll keep rotating, and it'll all fit together as a tessellation, but you have to rotate it. Whereas with slide tessellations, you just slide it. You can't turn it. You have to just slide it. So are you watching me slide?
Yeah.
rotate. Do you see the difference? We're going to do those both today. Matthew?
Is it kind of like the patterns that we learned last year? Yeah, that's.
I'm not sure. What did you learn last year? Patterns like this?
It would just be like up, then you turn it to the left and the right.
Yeah, sounds like it. Emilio?
I still don't get how a slide tessellation is a slide tessellation.
We're going to create one. You're going to totally get it. Okay? I promise.
Why is it even?
Well, because it's a pattern that repeats.
Oh, so you can repeat that, and then you can make it into a regular tessellation.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
You could take the repeating part and use that. All right. So here's why I focus on that. Because if you cut in the wrong spot or we tape in the wrong spot, it won't work. And I won't be able to do another one with you. You'll have to do another one on your own. All right? Everyone choose one corner of your square. It has to be at the corner. Just of one square. Choose one corner. We're going to go from that corner that you choose to the corner over here. Can you all see which corner I mean? The only bad way you can do this right at the moment is to go to this far corner. If you go from this corner to this corner, or this corner to this corner, you're actually going to be okay. Can everybody watch what I do. Watch what I do first. And then can everybody repeat after me somehow? Does everybody see what I've done? Corner to corner, though. Do you see how I went in at a corner and came out at a corner? I need you to do the same. Can you please do that right now? You do whatever shape you want, but it's got to go in at a corner and out at a corner at that corner. Don't go to its opposite corner. That would be the only way to mess this up. So you can't go to the far corner.
He has mine.
All right, you have your piece. Here's what I want you to do. Put it back where it was in the hole. Put it exactly in the hole again. Make sure it matches up, because occasionally you guys flip it and then that screws everything up. Is it directly in the exact hole that you just cut it from? Yeah. Now slide it straight up without flipping it. Slide it straight up till it's just sitting on top of the square. And we're going to put a piece of tape or two. And I'd like you to use the brown tape. It's all in those in that container over there. On it, but look. Do you see how my corners match up to my corners?
Yeah.
Watch my fingers, kiddos. Do you see my corners? My corners match up. Do you see that my tape doesn't overlap the cut at all? My tape is right inside the shape at all points. Are you looking? Because if you don't do this, when you trace, it won't work. So can you please start it in the hole, slide it straight up, and then put two pieces of tape there. The tape is over there by the things over there. Use the brown tape, please. It's over by the phone.
Wait, do you put this under or over? This, do you put this under or over?
Where did I just do it?
Under. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Ask a kid. I don't really know what you mean, but ask a kid. I just showed you. Done? Can you put it on the pile? I haven't graded any of them yet. Thanks. No. Kiddos, if you did it to both of your squares, that wasn't the direction, just to one of the squares.
Like this?
I'm not able to tell you if it's right. Just make sure that it slid straight up. Kiddos, take the tape back to your table. Share it as a table, okay? Step number 1 is finished. I'm almost ready to start step number 2. But I want you to use the brown tape. That's, oh, the squares. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Thank you. The more cracks or overlaps or anything, the less accurate it'll be, and you're going to be frustrated, not me. So I'm not saying it's not okay, but if you guys have like gaps or overlaps, that's going to mess with your shape. So do you notice how like almost perfect mine is, and I'm not ever telling you to be perfect, But do you see how there's almost no space in between anything? There's no overlapping. So you guys see all that?
Yeah.
Now, of course, I've done this for like 15 years, right? So I'm not a newbie at this, but you want to be careful to do that as well. All right. I am ready to start my next part. That's good to know. Good to know. All right. Here's my next part. I'm going to look at my shape, and I'm going to see which of those bottom two corners has a little bit more space to it. You know how I started at one corner and went out the other corner? I'm going to pick the corner that has a little bit more space to it, and I'm going to start at that corner and go up to its corner up here where I taped. Look at my fingers so you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to start at this corner and go up to the top corner where I taped, and I'm going to make another cut. And I'm going to make sure to only go from there to there. Definitely, I'm not going to cut into into the hole that I created. So watch what I do before you do it. I'm going to go in at the corner. Are you watching?
Yeah.
Watch, please. I'm going in at the corner. I'm going to go around. And then I'm going to come back. And then I'm going to go out the corner.
Does it have to be the same shape?
No, it doesn't have to be the same shape. So watch. I set it here, but watch so you see the next step too. And you tape it over here.
Oh, this is...
Does everyone see where I've just slid it? I'll do it again. You cut it here, and you slide it and tape it here. Does everyone see my direction?
Yeah.
I want you to be able to reproduce that. So please slide it and tape it there. No gaps, no overlaps. Can you do it? Yeah, I chose which side. You could choose either side. It's fine. I chose whichever one had more room. And then be careful putting your tape on. You don't want any of it to hang off the edge. So I got a teeny tiny gap in mine, but it'll be all right, I think. This is my final shape for the slide tessellation. But we still have a rotation tessellation to go.
Yay! Interesting.
I don't know if it'll work until you start tracing it, but as long as you line it back up with what you cut out and then you slide it straight across, it'll work. Okay? All right, can you please write on it? You need to have your name and you need to write slide so that we know what kind of tessellation piece we have. Your name and slide. It doesn't matter where your tape is going to be at all as long as it doesn't hang off the edge. This is going to be what we trace, and I'll show you at the very end. It's going to be what we trace to start our tessellation, and then we're not going to use it after we're done tracing it. We have 15 minutes left. I have to show you the rotation tessellation, and I have to show you how to trace everything, because I won't be here tomorrow to show you the next steps. So we have to show them today. So put your name and put slide on it. Yep. All right. As soon as you've done that, I need you to watch again, because I'm going to show you the rotation tessellation. So do you all have your name and slide written on it?
Yep.
Awesome. Then here is the next direction. For the rotation tessellation, we're going to do the same thing, but where we tape it is different. So step number 1, you should probably be watching. Start at a corner. come out the other corner. But instead, thank you, instead of going across and taping, that's the slide tessellation, we're doing a rotation tessellation. So start where you put your piece back in, and you take your finger like a hinge, and you rotate it. And we tape it right here. So I'll show you it again. You put the piece into the hole that you cut it out of, you pinch the two, just one corner. It can be either corner, but I'm a righty, so I'm choosing the right-hand corner. And then when you slide it, watch what you do. You don't slide it at all, you rotate it. You rotate, and you tape it on this side where all the corners match up. So do you see how I'll tape my corner to my corner? Do you guys see how I'm going to tape this? Right here, right? So you do that one while I tape.
Should we do it with the white one?
It doesn't matter. I wanted to get one that everybody could see. I gave you two pieces. Use the other piece, kiddos.
Weird. This one's weird. Me too. How's that?
As long as it comes out each corner, it's wonderful.
And then we just move it
We rotate it, right?
like that.
Sure. Remember, your tape can't hang over the edge because we're going to trace the edge. So we don't want the tape to get in our way.
Banana. I'm tracing this. It doesn't fit exactly.
Yeah, you guys can start over as many times as you need, but I'm going to keep moving on. Nobody gets to complain. Huh? That's okay. Maybe if it's not an even cut, you might have to cut off a tiny bit of your excess. Boys and girls, if your square isn't perfectly square, you might have to cut off a little bit of the stuff that hangs over. Yeah, guys, don't be afraid of doing it, starting over. I just have to keep moving on. So start over as many times as you need, but don't get mad when I move on. All right, 30 more seconds till step 2, and it's a tricky one. It's beautiful. Beautiful. All right?
Wait, Mr. Swivl,
Yeah.
you say you cut off this part and hangs over?
Yeah, if it didn't line up perfectly, cut off the excess part. All right, step 2. This is the trickiest part so far. Promise to watch as hard as you can? Promise?
Yes.
Okay, stop whatever you're doing. Nothing that you're doing is more important than seeing this step. All right. This end matters. We've got this part and this part left that we could cut, yes?
Yes.
Watch me, don't get distracted. Only one of them is right. The other one will mess up the whole shape. So you think you got this part and this part to cut, but we can only cut one of them. Here's the one we cut. We cut the one that is the exact opposite of the part where we taped. So if we taped over here, that means I cut over here, because I want to rotate it so that the two taped pieces share a corner. So taped piece will share a corner. So I don't want to cut here, because then the taped piece will go here, and they'll be opposite of each other, and that won't work. Do you sort of get me at all?
Yeah.
So I find the taped piece, and I want the opposite end to be my piece that I cut, which isn't very convenient for me. I don't have a lot of space. So I'll go ahead and cut. Here I go from one corner to the next. Okay. And then I want to remember to put it back where I started so I don't accidentally turn it. Pinch the corner and rotate it. And then that's where I tape. Do you want me to do it again?
Yes.
put your piece right inside the hole, pinch the corner, and rotate. And then that's where I tape. So I have a taped piece and a taped piece basically sharing a corner. I don't know. I think so. You got. Oh, you mean the smallness of it? That's fine. All right. So that's the end of direction 2.
So I'm cutting right here.
Slide this opposite to the side you just did.
How am I supposed to cut this?
Yeah.
I don't understand how I can do this.
Yeah. You may have to start over, and it's not anything you did wrong. You just might have to start over. Mine was a little close as well, but I did it. So, if you have to start over, kids, it might not necessarily be something you did wrong, but if you didn't allow yourself enough space last time, you maybe didn't even realize you needed to, because I didn't. But mine works. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this okay?
It is, as long as it's right. I mean, I assume it's right, but I'm not able to tell from just looking at your piece.
Our name and then rotation.
Name and rotation. Yep. Thank you, Daniel. All right. Hi, Ms. Flamick. You can take as long as you need.
Well, you have art today, though, don't you?
Yeah, but we'll do rear Jamickle for 35 minutes with other stuff.
Okay.
So that's plenty right there. No, not at all. Kiddos, we have 5 minutes left, and I want to show you how to trace these before we run out of our class period. So you can keep doing what you're doing, but I'm going to do something on the board, and I'd like for you to look up once in a while and check it out.
Look at mine. You know, right? How do I do it?
Kiddos, take one peek at the board, please. I traced my shape. I didn't do a great job. Please do a better job than me. Now watch. I have to rotate mine. So I'm looking for some dominant features. This one goes there, I can tell. Does everybody see what I've got?
Yeah.
So I'm going to find a spot that can rotate. So this is going to be my next trace. I'm going to trace right here. You can look away if you'd like. And so I've got the next part, thank you. But the goal is to go up, down, left, and right and finish the whole thing. So let's see, if this one was here and I rotated this way, then that means I'm going to rotate this way and I'm going to rotate this way. And this was my vertex about which I rotated all of them. But they're going to rotate in other spots too. So here is going to have a rotation somewhere else too. So it looks like there's going to be one here. This is my vertex. Here. And here in between. Do you see how it's going to rotate about a vertex?
Yeah.
Okay, that's for my rotation tessellation. The slide one's just going to go like this. Up, up, up. Right, right, right. Left, left, left. Down, down, down. And we're going to do this on a piece of construction paper. And you have to go out to the edge. Let me tell you right now, the biggest mistake my kids make is they don't trace the little tick marks that are left. When you have a piece of construction paper like this, you've still got to go out to the edge. So we still have to make it, hold on, I might have flipped mine upside down. Let's see. So we still have to go like this. We still have to trace this little guy right here. These little ones that people don't think about. Do you see this? We have to trace all of this. But we sometimes forget about the little parts that are coming off the edge of the paper. Are you hearing me? So go all the way and make sure you've got all the little parts traced. You're going to do that tomorrow. And then you're going to color in each shape, which sounds like a wasteful thing, but there's a reason. I want to show that the pattern tessellates, so I want each puzzle piece to be a different color than the rest. I want them to be set apart. And I want each outline to be drawn in a dark marker, like a black outline. Guys, are you listening? Yeah. So trace it maybe in pencil, but go over it in marker of some sort. Caroline?
What happens if it doesn't work?
So then you do another puzzle piece, and I'll leave all the extras here. So you do another one, and just ask a kid to help you so that you're doing the cuts right. But everybody who showed it to me, like who looked up, it looked like you guys are doing it right. I also don't mind leaving my puzzle piece here for people. So that's the rotation one, and then I have the slide one right over here. I didn't label mine though, so you'd have to figure out which ones are which, but they're there if you need them. Samantha?
Will we be doing the points?
Be doing the points. You don't have to label the vertex. Okay. Boys and girls, you don't have to label this. I just want you to know that all of these pieces have a different vertex that they turn around. Does everybody get that? So it's really just darken your lines, color each piece in differently, and don't forget about the edges. So you can put it away, pal. I don't need to. All right. Kids, do you understand directions for tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give the substitute, whoever it might be, the direction of some dog for some period of time. Actually, what I'll do is I'll say finish your 2 tessellations and then play some dog. So you got to finish both of those, but it's an hour 15. You should be all right. Okay, TJ?
Should we do some of that tonight?
So I don't have homework other than some dog to give you, so it's a perfect night. So you should write down, well, you should know your passwords. You don't need the school code anymore. You've already signed up for our class, so you should be fine. I believe, Westgate too, but if it's not hard to memorize. But kiddos, I don't think you need it each time, but if you do, I'm just wrong then. What? We don't actually have the extra 5 minutes. It's 3 and we have to put away all our computers and our stuff. Okay? All right, kiddos, help each other. Just because you don't have a computer or something to put away, please don't stop helping other people. All right? Go ahead and clean up. Stephen? So I wasn't here Friday, and today's Monday, so what would a normal teacher, would they have been able to get their tests? No, I actually came in for 8 to 10 hours yesterday, but there was